Hey everybody, this is a technique video to go along with Protective Diet's bread maker burger buns, soft burger buns. Oh my gosh, just like I remember out of the package from the grocery store, you know, those pull apart buns that you had every summer at the barbecue. That's what we're going for here, but I put my bread maker to work. So I dump everything in there. First, I mill my whole wheat berries. That's what we're doing. So we're getting the whole grain. None of that dead extracted flour from the grocery store, even if it says whole wheat. It's not the whole wheat, unfortunately. But we're milling it fresh. You can use your blender. The directions are on the recipe. Or you can use a grain mill. I recommend a countertop grain mill, but your high-speed blender, like your Blendtec or your Vitamix, will do the same. So first things first, dump your dough out. It was on the dough cycle only. We dumped all the ingredients in there and let it go for an hour and a half. It mixes and rises, just like our bread maker boule. If you haven't tried that recipe, go for that one first. And then make the buns. There's also a bread maker dough recipe for just a fully baked loaf in your bread maker, which I love in the summertime. It keeps the kitchen cool. So what I'm doing is a few stretch and folds here. This video is to show you how to divide the buns, burger buns for your veggie burgers, sandwich rolls for your barbecue cabbage sandwich. And later we'll make them into hot dog buns and dinner rolls. Okay, dough sticks to dough, so rinse your fingers and clean as you go. While I'm over here, I'm wetting a clean kitchen towel, or you could wet 2 layers of paper towel and wring it till it's damp, the paper towel as well. And this is going to be to cover our buns after we form them and shape them. In grams, weigh your full loaf. It is 1,323. And what's half of that, Jerry?
662.
So we want 2 halves at 662. 682. So I just take a little off, put it onto here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want your burger buns or sandwich rolls to be like totally symmetrical, like they came out of the bag, to get your family more inclined to eating your from scratch cooking, this is the way to do it. So then we do half of 662, which is an easy one, which is 331. So now we divide both of these 2 in half, so that we'll end up with 4. 331 is our target. And I love playing with dough, so I feel like this is the fun part of baking. And your scale is completely, you can wash the whole thing under running water. So don't worry about the sticky stuff. It's fun. Okay. Then half of 331 is
165.
165 is half of 331.
330 is half of 330 is 165.
Okay, perfect. So another way to do that is I wrap my phone in plastic wrap, and then I just say, what's half of 331?
1 divided by 2 times 331 is
165. Jerry was right. So here we go. 165 If your fingers start to get all doughed up, give them a rinse. It'll make this so much easier. Dough sticks to dough. Okay. Now let's shape them. Our goal is a nice tight bun, and if you've made the boule, you know how we do this. We tighten it and pinch it together at the bottom, and we're trying to get a really high bun because as they rise, they will level out a little bit. Do not overproof them. We're going to proof them for 1 hour. My favorite way is in the oven with the oven light on. Now, if you have this wonderful little mini oven, which isn't so mini, it's a great oven. It fits this sheet pan. This is the Breville Smart Air Pro. I will link a link for you to check it out in the comments, in the notes below. And I use this every day versus my oven because it works the same as my oven. So you see how I'm pulling this up? It's making a really nice tight roll. And I put one in each corner with space for it to spread because it will. Plus we want them to connect so we can pull them apart like bagged buns. I think that's a real important part of creating this recipe is the visual. How we always enjoyed things is how I still want to enjoy them, minus the processing of those burger buns in the grocery store and all the food additives and chemical ingredients that keep them soft. Oh my gosh, I have whole food ingredients in here that keep these buns fluffy soft. You will be amazed and shocked by this loaf of bread. You'll think that it is white bread, but it is whole wheat with the germ and the spermidine, all of the things that help us to detoxify and perform cellular cleanup without thought. Our body naturally does this to maintain homeostasis. It's a beautiful thing when we eat a truly whole food, low-fat, plant-based diet, like a protective diet. And if you're picking up on this video and you're not part of protective diet education programming, check out what we're doing here, what we've been doing for over a decade with our protective diet community. And then you can have this recipe in your workplace for wellness. Oh my gosh, look at these buns. Not too close to the edge because I want them to rise together. And again, my fingers are getting too sticky, so I might have to rinse them off if you want really nice, smooth buns and an easy go at this. And then those go right in the middle and they're going to connect there. Oh my gosh. This is a 15-inch sheet pan. I'll link that as well. That fits perfectly in my Breville Smart Air. If you have one of these air fryer ovens that broils, it does everything my regular oven does and more. Rinse. These are going to proof in the oven with the oven light on for 1 hour. And I'm taking my moistened kitchen towel that I wrung out so it's just damp. You could use a paper towel doubled if you don't have a clean towel to work with. And then put these in with the oven light on. And set a timer. Set a timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Thank you.
Of course. course.
One of the benefits of baking bread and working from home is I now have a 1 hour time block. First things first, I'm gonna clean as I go using my homemade all-purpose natural cleaning spray. Vinegar and water, everybody. I hope you're doing this too. And I have 1 hour to get some work done. It keeps me focused, it keeps me on point. You know, if you work from home, how the day can just get away and you don't feel like you're like on task, on point. This will help you out. Same with making the bread maker boule. I love that because that keeps me on point. This process is in the bread maker, the dough, you throw it all in there, it mixes and then it rises for an hour and a half. So I already had that time block to get a lot done today. Then I took a break, came in my workplace for wellness, played with some dough. This is active meditation. It's very good for us to break away from work, especially when we're one meal a day on a protective diet. If you're following along with day fasting with me, we don't take a lunch hour. So this is a great little thing to do to break and get away from work for a little while, because we still need breaks, even though we don't use food as a break. Make yourself a protective beverage. Play with your dough a little. Pop it in there for the second proof for 1 hour. I'll see you back. 1 hour proofing in the oven with the light on is up, and look at my high-rise buns. First thing, preheat your oven, either the Breville or your conventional oven. Next, are you leaving them plain or are you seasoning them? My very favorite is chopped dried onion. Oh yeah. Onion rolls. Oh yeah, I grew up on those. You don't want to really press them down. Just get what you can to stick. And with this damp cloth on the second proof, they should stick right on there. And then I always leave a few plain for my dogs, my spoiled hounds. They love protective diet bread, and I love feeding it to them because it's very good for them, healthy whole grain. Sesame seeds, yeah, why not? Like a real burger. And then we have poppy seeds. These are all of the different seeds that I have for topping buns and strawberry poppy seed dressing. And then there's the everything bagel seasoning. I mixed this one up myself so that I could have it in organics. Jerry and I are going to have to fight over the variety, but I know which one he's going for. The other option is salt and pepper, which is a really great topping too. Just a sprinkle of salt and some ground pepper. These two are reserved for Lucky and Cooper. So be sure to wait until you're preheated, and I want to mention, you can see my buns are a nice high rise. If they were overproofed and you didn't set a timer for the second proofing for 1 hour only, or you overproof them in your Breville on the proof setting and you let it go past the hour, you'll get flat buns. So if that happens to you, you'll know why. But I don't think it will, because I keep mentioning in this video. I hope you follow along with these technique videos to make protective diet education recipes a breeze and a total success. Hot buns out of the oven. Allow them to cool on the pan so that they slice beautifully. With a serrated knife would be your best option here. And just a tip on this Breville Smart Air oven. When you preheat the oven, set a secondary timer when you put your buns in. And the reason I suggest that is sometimes that timer will start to tick down before we get our buns in there. So always check that it has your proper time on there when you're putting them in, because it immediately starts to count down as soon as it preheats. And I don't always have my buns ready to go in. It might take me a minute to run back in here when I hear the preheat go off. The other tip I want to make is when you go to put your buns in or anything to bake in the oven, you double check that it's on bake and not on air fry or on broil, because this dial moves really easily and can get adjusted just by touching it and you don't notice. So double check when you go to put anything in to bake, air fry, broil, whatever it is that you're preheating for, that it's still set to exactly what you were wanting to cook your protective foods on. Take care.
And best of health.